some curvy roads to play around a little bit, because this thing seems like it would be pretty fun. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today I am here in the Matrix. Unfortunately, Neo is not here today. There's no red or blue pill. It's just me and the Toyota Matrix. Thanks once again to Middletown Toyota here in Middletown, Connecticut, for letting me take this car out. Go see Otto there. He's your guy. He'll help you out. Now this Toyota Matrix is based on the Corolla. It is basically a Corolla hatchback, though they marketed it as a CUV or compact utility vehicle, even though it's not the CUVs that we know today, like the crossovers where they're lifted. This is the same height actually as the Corolla was, the same ground clearance, but this is actually the second generation of the Matrix here, and they actually, Toyota rumored it as the Blade, but it actually ended up coming out as the second generation Matrix instead. So if you looked at this car and you thought, that's not a Matrix, that's not even a Toyota, that is a Pontiac Vibe, you would not be wrong. The Pontiac Vibe is the same car with a slightly different exterior. This was a joint venture with GM, actually, the Toyota Matrix, but this one outlived the Pontiac Vibe because Pontiac died in 2009, and this one went on till about 2013 was the last model year. So it's got that nice hatchback shape. It actually has more usable space than the new Corollas, I believe. It's about 20 cubic feet of cargo space in the back. Definitely a lot of room. I don't really know if it's a wagon or a hatchback or what it is. I think it's a hatchback, but I've seen it called all the things. It's all just marketing anyway. Okay, 20 cubic feet of space in the back, 36.3 inches of legroom in the back. It's definitely got more usable space than the current Corolla. What it doesn't have, the current Corolla has, is updated safety tech. Nope, we're living in the past here. This one has a dash mounted shifter, which is awesome because I'm here in the 5-speed. This did come in a 4-speed auto or a 5-speed auto or a 5-speed manual, and I'm so glad I'm in the manual. This is the Matrix S version. The S also came in an all-wheel drive version. This one is front-wheel drive, though. You could not get the all-wheel drive with the manual transmission. And I gotta say, I like this manual. It's springy. It's definitely something I gotta get used to here. The clutch is real springy, but I like it. And the shifter, even at 100,000 miles, there's not too much slop to this thing. It really shifts really nicely. Clutch feels good. I wonder if it was replaced or if this is original, because it feels like it's in good shape. Alright, under the hood here, this second generation, there was a 1.8 liter and a 2.4 liter. Luckily here in the S trim, we're in the 2.4 liter, which gives us about 158 horsepower, 162 pound-feet of torque, which is actually not too much different than the current Corolla hatchback. So it's plenty peppy, especially if you're coming out of a newer Toyota. Fuel economy in this thing, 24 miles per gallon. Still competes with everything else on the market today, really. 24 miles per gallon, that's combined, obviously. And I love this interior. It is minimalistic for sure. Got the old school radio, but it does have a CD player. 2009, we had CD players still. Everything here, analog, nicely laid out. Very, very simple. All the climate control is knobs. Clock is digital. We do have an auxiliary port. We've got a real outlet down here. Manual handbrake. This thing is wonderful. Torsion beam rear suspension. McPherson strut in the front. Update since it was released. during the same time as the 9th gen Corolla. It benefited from all the updates that one had, because it's based on the Corolla platform also. So you got, because that's when the chief engineer of Toyota decided, well, the Corolla is 20% of our sales. It's selling pretty well. We can't mess this up. Let's start over from scratch. Let's look at the European market and see what they want and make it to them. So, and make it for them. So they went to the people with the highest standards and they made a car for them, and it paid off. I mean, this interior, they got some soft plastics here, a little bit of hard plastics, but up here, the nice soft plastics. It's got a little bit of a minimalistic vibe, as I mentioned. They really focused in on the handling, the dynamics, and then of course this is the 2nd generation of the Matrix, so then they upped the power with the 2.4 liter engine, which is certainly nice. I really like this dash mounted shifter. I've not been in a car like this. It's pretty cool. I've been in the Tacoma, which has something similar, but I haven't been in any cars that have this, and this is kind of cool. This thing handles nicely too. It's small, it's chuckable, it's only about 3,000 pounds, so even though the power numbers aren't super great, you know, for its time and also for its weight, this thing, you can throw this thing around pretty nicely. Not looking at any kind of Bluetooth, no nav screens, no Android Auto, no Apple CarPlay, no blind spot monitoring. We do have heated mirrors actually, which is kind of cool. I didn't know that those even existed in 2009. And for just under 10 grand, this can be yours. They were about 17 to 20, depending on the trim level when they first came out. This is the mid trim. There's also an XRS, that's the top tier, and then there's a base model. But then in the base model, you get the 1.8 liter, so you get down on power a little bit. But that, again, the XR. But again, the S is the only one that actually comes in all-wheel drive, interestingly enough, but only in that auto. Let's find some curvy roads to play around a little bit, because this thing seems like it would be pretty fun. This is just refreshing. Just like without all the tech, without all the safety stuff, without all the beeping and the screens and everything. Steering is light, but you can still figure out what you're doing here. That probably shouldn't have been in 3rd gear, but it's plenty peppy. Again, only 3,000 pounds. This thing can move totally fine. Stops well enough. Wheelbase about 102 inches. A little go-karty, for sure. Off the line, it's not gonna win any races. Ooh, it can move. It can move well enough. This thing is great. This is the answer when you say, I've only got 10 grand. I want something that's just gonna run, but I need some space, and I don't want it to be boring. Want it to be super boring appliance. This is what you buy. This one's 9 grand, just under 9 grand. 100,000 miles. It's just gonna run, and you can chuck it around a little bit. Again, not gonna win any races. Not what it's for. Also, don't try to go into 6th like I just did, because there is no 6th. Red line's up at 6,500. Let's see if I can get it going. Like I mentioned, this one is the same as the Pontiac Vibe. Toyota really likes their collaborations. Go into a Toyota dealer, you can buy a Mazda, you can buy a Subaru, you can buy a Pontiac, you can buy a BMW. What's not to love about this thing? It's got a real hatchback shape, so you can see. Visibility's good. You chuck it around, and it doesn't have that super light clutch like the newer cars do. This could be painful in traffic, but I don't care. It's fun when you're not in traffic. You know, I go on these test drives and I look at the car and I get out of it. It was fun, it wasn't fun. It was good, it wasn't good. You know, thinking about all the different features and whatever. And then I go on my way, and I've got that experience under my belt. Sometimes it's just so refreshing that I kind of wish I had this car. I drive a GTI, so it's a hot hatch. Same kind of idea, but mine has a lot more, you know, has the newer tech, the newer safety features. It's got a lot more power to it. This thing is fun. You know, you don't, because it's lower power, it's got that slow car fast thing going for it. You know, you can rev this thing out. You can chuck it around a corner. You can, it's not gonna win races, but you can have some fun with it. And it's a lot easier to have fun at lower speeds. You're not gonna get pulled over by the cops after, you know, hitting red line in third, whatever it is. It's refreshing. I love this car. I want it. That's it. That's all I got for today. Thanks again to Middletown Toyota here in Middletown, Connecticut. Check them out. Go talk to Otto. And if you have a car, Jason at manual-cars.com. As always, doesn't need to be manual, but this is nice. If it's analog, even better. There you have it. Thanks again. I will see you next time.